Good morning, folks. My name is Brian Baker, Logistical Director at PFL. We hope that everyone had a great long weekend. To start things off, the Dow closed lower on Friday of last week, down 201.81 points and down 319.85 points week over week. The S&P 500 closed higher on Friday of last week, up 3.82 points but down 14.18 points week over week. The Nasdaq closed higher on Friday of last week, up 86.94 points but down 42.15 points week over week. In overnight trading, Dow futures traded lower and are expected to open down this morning, minus 260 points. Oil futures settled higher on Friday, boosted by supply constraints and worries of a Russian attack on neighboring Ukraine, pushing prices towards their fourth weekly gain. Sources are saying China is set to release crude reserves around the Lunar New Year. We all know how well that works. West Texas Intermediate crude closed up $1.70 a barrel on Friday of last week to settle at $83.82 per barrel, up $4.02 per barrel week over week. U.S. commercial crude oil inventories decreased by 4.6 million barrels week over week. U.S. crude oil inventories are 8% below the 5-year average for this time of year. Total motor gasoline inventories increased by 8 million barrels week over week and are 3% below the 5-year average for this time of year. Distillate fuel inventories increased by 2.5 million barrels week over week and are 15% below the 5-year average for this time of year. Propane and propylene inventories decreased by 3.4 million barrels week over week and are 6% below the 5-year average for this time of year. Propane continued to move higher week over week, closing up 3 cents per gallon at $1.13 per gallon. Oil is higher in overnight trading, and WTI is poised to open at $1.40 per barrel from Thursday's close. Total North American rail volumes were down 17.4% year over year in week 1. All of the AAR's 11 major traffic categories posted year over year declines, with the largest decreases coming from intermodal and grain and coal. North American rig count is up by 63 rigs week over week. The U.S. rig count was up by 13 rigs week over week and up by 228 rigs year over year. The U.S. currently has 601 active rigs. Canada rig count was up 50 rigs week over week and up 30 rigs year over year, and Canada's overall rig count is 191 active rigs. Overall, year over year, we are up 258 rigs collectively. A few things that we are keeping an eye on. The Mars conference in Chicago last week. We were there, folks. Despite most participants thinking the conference would be canceled, the show went on and was surprisingly well attended. It ended up being a mask-free event with everyone in good spirits and eager to kick off the new year with new business. Speakers from the Class 1 cited the same concerns. Labor constraints are affecting their serviceability. The same theme we have been hearing for well over a year. All said they were on the right track, but there was no promises as to when service will improve. The secondary rail market for cars of all sizes have been robust, with people still reluctant to enter into long-term pricey contracts for new builds, but the reality is right around the corner as workable supply is dying up. Continued regulatory woes for DAPL as Illinois' appellate court on Wednesday of last week vacated approval given by the Illinois Commerce Commission to allow the expansion of the Dakota Access Oil Pipeline capacity up to 1.1 million barrels per day. The Dakota Access Pipeline can transport about 570,000 barrels per day of crude oil from North Dakota to the Midwest, though the company said in August it had completed a capacity expansion to 750,000 barrels per day. Last year, the pipeline withstood a legal challenge by Standing Rock Sioux and the other adversaries to shut the pipeline. In 2020, the Commission approved the addition of the pumping stations that would boost the pipeline's capacity over the objections of the environmental groups such as the Sierra Club and the National Resource Defense Council. The reading of PFL's Rail Report today is an absolute must. Not only do we dive more into detail, as discussed in today's podcast, we also summarize the latest petroleum by rail numbers, talk about refinery runs, overall petroleum import and export numbers, and dive into the latest U.S. employment situation. We also discuss the latest trucking trends, global air freight, and containerized ocean traffic. Last but not least, the Alberta government is hot. Carbon capture and storage is moving forward with 2 initiatives. Read about it in PFL's Rail Report today. Bottom line, a lot of great information and a lot of fancy graphs. We hope that you enjoy reading PFL's Rail Report today. We do it all for you guys. PFL has been extremely active in railcar storage, return on lease strategies, subleasing, mobile repair and cleaning. Make sure to check out our just posted reports at pflpetroleum.com or call PFL to troubleshoot any questions or concerns you may have at 239-390-2885.